Calling a mululuku with whatever we do. Jioni safu nola with whatever we do. Haleyi demunyu skula nyepamne ne kudlukula nyepangi ragala gena nyepamne ne kudlukula ibuloke nongoto ni beti sola ibuloke dato ni betoto
Bigi Congo
Lamin ke jibe norin te nyame Lamin
kabana wuloko
na nyinta mo Lamin
pabilenki
muna ngata afongole
haina
ngata Ngoto le Fabrama
Mingi Baba Nyole
No ngoto le
Jumara kan kuma ni ten
Fabrama
Jumara mu
ndele bare muso
Jamani bere
Alendo ko
jamani
bari ngoto mon kontande
bari jamani bana na mu do kontan
ngoto minaka ngala min de fon fileta la
Lamin ida siran sama ne benki yalla so tol sayni no bo mo lokko momo
ngoto
nam
itedinte yalo ne Lamin hakkilo diata bake karambu ngoto enten ministry ko di ngol manke ko do woli
sibitu
bagona ringa
ala ni ko kede namo balo
ala ni na ko na karta bulo be dam ala ni je
ngoto
nam
ngoto mon kontan fere
jamani mu ne keda
ite Lamin ki wulu ko do fete malo Lamin nyande sila la be la moy kala karango
jamani karamu be sorande ne ko fasi ta wulo ko nako
karambu wol ma so ni ko karambu wol soronda amaka ko ngoli de lem ngoto dini wonyanta sila la ala karango la moy yamen kaben fue man kontan andamande
alla min kombo courant adan dal kombo ndo la jan karamu wol soronda do kamen courant ma daro lo kombo projet karamu wol soron Lamin ada lo ni no la man dara fe na so kon ala mu ne kela
Lamin ite fete malo ko la sino de ke kar radio to
nga fine
e ko yana di mo Lamin
nga fine
ya mo na fonye
kabin mina kan tambita nteri maning tambite la sugala ala dinni wol bebe siri be la moy ka
faru danso am fana tambita jere ni subala nga je dinni wol be jet talanta nen kili waro e be seri jelet
sa Lamin farante ku kili wo ke no la ba Lamin bi ta ka wulo Lamin
aman dara fenela
ite dine ko ni man si yakari la sino la moy radio to e balon na
mo ne ka ke afende ma nyara
ite balon to be cikrite ni man karam ne ku kele yaje nata karana mbasa malaya ay tari
ndira kombo ide na raje ni sonka bay ko Lamin ma nyata la wulo ko karamu wol be so afende membe
ko to wole nati bawo ngalle ni Lamin kuntala kombo kurang e ka fa me kombo kurang asototal wala kinay ko e sisu kono bari ni ko e sisu kono be karangol dike la radio lin telel to hani tele masodo to nyaay man tele soto da bongo bar radio be bulan koto batiri sanga ay si ay alamo
sa do kala nyaadi
ta o bulaji
ado kala nyaadi
kamun ke nyaadi
radio abo la mo la be mona falaje
ibe la karandiro ile subject ro baby jele
wala nanga chocho moy fa dan so wala ngom tambi kana ngadi ngol de be ikadum bungo de be kana
ma asototal de
Lamin mala be kara wala de
ideal on ko wala fo
muna ni ko di ha ko ndego folle sinila ba ndele sinilo ne ba
mbasa mba foke yon koto wole fango yen wulindi yalo famo keta bat yin fana bulata ko ko me yen nati jambi Lamin nyanta karana ndel beji ko be nyineka ya bulay kara ya bambalo yo be bulaje koto dindi ngoy si ayala le sino la moy radio
wala ga munda kara mo man so
ayala sila le ayala le sino
dale ko korno ko smalo
kila
mo bin ko mo mo sai mi do ni ko na
nengi bruzo
am no ko la da baro no radio ba no bari ko radio ni abe je be ko ngamra ko man be gul jan ala nyara nyara ko ko fendi mo la
ya labi tamete
mingi mun na ri
teku
bari ko do famo ke
ja e ma de nani nyambol si jol le ke je kisgi man si jol no le kabun ka nyoma bari nyambu kino ni manya na ka fendi ni nambe ko so la dal
ngale limbeta de be nyambo do dilanna
nyara ni ko ridin fennat nyara nata
bari famo ke da
nata bungono tabi bungono nyara ngando go mele ko ke de bar nganda ni pelo la dija
iyo tar la
bungono bismillah
bismillah pendulala yefungo tanka sina dulu tanka koro korota korota
Hello, viewers and listeners. Welcome again to another lesson at the senior secondary school level on angle of elevation and depression. We have in our last lesson, so let's do the correction of that assignment. Ibrahima is on the top deck of a ferry, observes two dolphins following each other directly away from the ferry on a straight line. Ibrahima's position is 154 meters above sea level, and the angles of depressions to from Ibrahima's position are 35 degrees and 36 degrees respectively. Find the distance between the dolphins to the nearest 100. Find the distance between the dolphins to the nearest 100. Now, in angle of elevation and depression, what you do first, if you have a question on that, you have to analyze it in a diagram. So we analyze it in a diagram. We assume this is the ferry. That's where it is at the top of the ferry, T. And at the bottom of the ferry, that is here. Let's put that one, P. Ibrahima is on the top deck of a ferry, observes two dolphins following each other. Two following each other directly ferry on a straight line. So directly away from the ferry on a straight line, this is where you have the ferry on a straight line. Directly away from the ferry, you have the dolphins here. Let's say this is one of the, and the other dolphin that is being followed on a straight line. So that's the straight line. Ibrahima's position is 100 meters above sea level. Between Ibrahima's position, from where Ibrahima is and the bottom of the ferry is 104 meters. So this is 154 meters above sea level. And the angles of depression to the dolphin, let's level the dolphins to the, this is dolphin X, this is dolphin Y. So to the two dolphins, angles of depression to the two dolphins from Ibrahima's positions are, 35 degrees. Angle of elevation, you have to have horizontal eye level. First, to dolphin X is 35 degrees. To dolphin X is 35 and to dolphin is 36 degrees. This is going to be 36 degrees. Ibrahima's position to dolphin Y is 36 degrees. And Ibrahima's position to X is 35 degrees. What are you asked to find? The distance between the two dolphins to the nearest 100. So before we find the distance between the two dolphins, this is a right angle. This is a right angle here. How do we find the distance between the two dolphins? The distance between X and Y, because we label our dolphins, the position of our dolphins as dolphin X and dolphin Y. Let's see how to get these angles inside the triangles that we have. We have T, Y, P. 36 degrees is alternate to the angle at Y inside the triangle TYP. Angle is also 30. And we also have a triangle TXP. So the 35 degrees will be alternate to the angle at X in that, because it's angle of depression. That is a horizontal line, and this is also a horizontal line. They become, they can have alternate. Now let's look at this. We have two right angle triangles. I want us to extract the right angle triangles we have. We extract the right angle triangle. We have the first one here. This is Y. This is P, where you have the right angle. And this one is T. the top where you have a that TP 100 meters and the angle at Y is 36 degrees. Find the distance YP in that triangle. We have a missing distance there, YP. Find YP, looking at the angle that we have, is it at the adjacent side or at the opposite side or at the hypotenuse on the right angle triangle? This is a right angle triangle. If you look at this, we have YP at as our adjacent in this right angle triangle, and we have TP as 6. The adjacent of 36 is YP and TP is the opposite of 36. What do we do to find our YP? We use the trig ratios. If we are with the opposite, which trig ratio do we use? The ratio we use is tan. So we will have tan, that is tan 36 now, is equals to opposite over adjacent. What is our opposite? Opposite is all over the adjacent, that is YP. So tan 36 equals to TP all over YP in this right angle triangle, and this will be tan 36 is equals to TP is what? TP we can see is 154 meters all over. What is YP? We don't know what it is. YP. So we solve for YP. Tan 36 degrees. So we cross multiply. We have YP tan 36 is equals to 1. So YP tan 36 is what? Is equals to 154. So we are looking for YP. We divide both sides. Tan 36 degrees. Divide both sides by tan 36 degrees and divide here also by tan 36. Tan 36 will cancel out tan 36 here. So we will have our YP is equals to 154 all over tan 36. 154 all over tan 36. So there our YP is equals to 154 tan 36. If you press on your calculator, 154 over tan 36 is 211.96. 211.96. Now, YP is, of course, it should be in meters. YP is 211.6. It in the, what is YP? From this distance here to this distance is YP. And we have that distance as 211.96 meters. Now we look at the diagram and have another right angle triangle from the diagram. Another right angle triangle from the diagram. What will right angle triangle? The other triangle we have from this diagram is triangle TXP. Triangle TXP is a right angle triangle. Triangle TXP, get the triangle TXP This is a right angle triangle. We have T here. Then we have X, the other dolphin. The angle there is 35. The angle there is TXP, the angle is 35 degrees. Then is at X, this distance that is from P to T from the diagram is 154 meters. So we will look for XP now. We will look for the distance. Looking at the right angle triangle, we have the angle 35 at X, and we have the opposite of 35, 154, and we have XP. XP, that is what we will look for. So we look for XP. What is XP? With the angle giving at the right angle triangle, the angle is giving at X, and that is 35. So the opposite side of that angle is 154, and the adjacent to the angle is what? So we use the tan again. Tan 35, the opposite of tan 35 is TP all over the opposite of the adjacent, all over the adjacent, which is XP. So tan 35 degrees, we are going to look for XP again. What will be our X? We will cross multiply. We will have, let's substitute TP first. We have tan 35 is equals to TP, that is 154 all over XP. 154 all over XP. So if we cross multiply, we will have XP beside XP tan 35 rather is equals to 154, because if you multiply 154 by 1, it will give you 154. What do we do next? We divide both sides by tan 35. We will divide here by tan 35. By tan 35. Tan 35 will cancel. Side XP is 104 tan 35. So if we calculate that, we will have side XP 135 is 209.4, approximately 219.9348. Now the question is, what is the distance between the two dolphins? What is the distance between the two dolphins? Let's go back to the diagram. This is our original distance is XP. So we are looking for the distance between X, Y. The distance between X, Y, because the two dolphins is the position of X and the position of Y. That is the position of the two dolphins. Now our XY, the position of the dolphins is X, Y, X and Y. One of the dolphin is at position X, and the other position of the other dolphin is Y. So the distance between them is going to be the distance XY, which will be equals to the whole distance in our diagram. The whole distance is XP. If you get the original diagram, that is XP, the whole distance, and part of the distance is YP. So XP minus will give us XY. Of the distance is, so we've solved for the two distance. Y is equals to XP is 219.9348 minus YP. YP is 211.6. So is 219.4 211.48 minus 211.96. XY, the side XY will be equal, so if you subtract 211.96 from 219.48. If you subtract that, use your calculator and subtract that, that will give us 7.98. It will give us 7.9748. But what did the question tell us? To the nearest 100. The distance between the two dolphins to the nearest 100. This is a decimal place. 100 is the second decimal place. To the nearest 100 is just the second decimal place. This is unit, this one is tenth, and this is hundredths. So our 100 is 7. It's a difference between 100, H-U-N-D-R-E-D, and H-U-N-D-T-H. That is what we are asked to find. To the nearest H-U-N-D-R-E-D-T-H. Is equals to 7.97 meters, because this is to the nearest 100. 100 with the TH and the 100 is not the same. So the one with the TH come 2 digits after the decimal point is the 100 with the TH. We are asked to find the distance between the two dolphins. Distance between the two dolphins is approximately, therefore the distance between the two dolphins is approximately 7.97 meters. The distance between the two dolphins is approximately 7.97 meters. We move to the next slide. A boy 1.5 meter tall is 20 meters away from a pool, 30 meters high. Determine the angle of elevation from his eye to the top of the pool. Determine the angle of elevation from his eye to the top of the pool. I read again. A boy 1.5 meters tall is 20 meters away from a pool, 30 meters high. Determine the angle of elevation from his eye to the top of the pool. We have to interpret by sketching it. So we get the boy here. This is the boy. We know the height of the boy is 5 meters. And the boy is standing 20 meters away from a pole. Let's say this is the pole. This is the boy. The distance between the boy and the pole is 20 meters. This is 20 meters. They said the boy is 20 meters away from the pool. The angle of elevation is what you are asked to determine. All right. And again, the height of the pole is 30 meters. So we level the top of the T and this one as B, the bottom of the pole. And where the boy is standing, that point we label it A. So the height of the boy, where the angle of elevation will be, that is where you will take elevation. First you take the level, then you have the angle of elevation to the top of the pole. This is the angle of elevation, and we put that one, let's label that B. So this angle is what you are to determine. This angle is what you are asked to determine. The angle you are asked to determine is the angle of elevation. How do we determine the angle of elevation? Determine the elevation from his eye to the top of the pool. Let me label the angle, I mean theta. So how do we find theta? We know this is 20. This is also going to be 20. This line and this line are equal. This is 20 meters. So how do we do angle? We have a right angle triangle, horizontal line and a vertical line meet at a right angle. So angle triangle. So in the right angle triangle, find the angle of elevation, or how do we find one of the angles as we have it here? So we find the angle. If you look at the diagram, we have the pole and the buoy. At the eye of where the pole of elevation, and between the eye of the ball and the pole is 20 meters. The height of the pole is 30 meters. Now from the level where you have, from the bottom of the pole to the level where the pole and the buoy will be equal, that point is also going to be 1.5. So part of the pole is going to be 30 from 1.5. The remaining part of the pole is 30 from 1.5. So that is this part here. Let's say this is D. The whole distance, this distance from T to B is 30 meters. From B to D is 1.5 meters. Now from T to D, that is the distance between the height of the pole and the eye of the buoy. That distance vertically is 30 minus 1.5. So we'll have 30 minus 1.5, and that will give us 28.5. So this distance here now is 28.5 meters. Now to find the angle of elevation, we use that triangle, the right angle triangle TBD. The right angle triangle TBD, and the right angle is at D. We take the right angle triangle TD. Then we have our B here. So this angle is what we should find. And from solving, we know this is 28 meters, and we know this is 20 meters. The opposite of the theta is 28.5, and adjacent to the theta is 20 meters. That is, we are asked to find the theta. Theta, I already explained that almost. I said the opposite of theta is 28.5, and adjacent to theta is 20. So to find that, we use tan. So we will have tan theta is equals to opposite adjacent. Tan theta is equals to, what is the opposite of theta? The opposite of theta is 28.5 all over the adjacent 20. So is equals to 28.5 over 20. If you press that on your calculator, you will have 1.425. 1.425. So to find tan inverse, this is 28 divided by 20. That is what gives you 1.25. That is equals to tan theta. Now to get theta, you will say theta is equals to tan inverse. Tan of 1.425. Tan inverse of 1.25. Theta, if you press this on your calculator, you will have 54.94 degrees. So theta here is approximately 55 degrees. Theta is approximately 5 degrees. The question asks you to find the angle of elevation from his eye to the top of the pole. So the angle of elevation from his eye to the top of the pole, we know is theta. And we solve for theta to be 55. So the angle of elevation from his eye to the top of the pole We say therefore the angle of elevation from his eye to the top of the pole is approximately 55. The angle of elevation to the top of the pole is approximately 55 degrees. Angle of elevation to the top of the pole is approximately 55 degrees. All right, with this we come to the end of the lesson. Before I leave you, I just have an assignment for you here. The assignment is a pole and a stick. A pole and a stick stands vertically on a level ground. A pole and a stick stand vertically on a level ground. The stick is 25 centimeter long. The stick is 25 centimeter long and cast a shadow of 20 centimeter. And cast a shadow of 20 centimeter. If the pole cast a shadow of 5 meters, what is the height of the pole? What is the height of the pole? I repeat, a stick stands vertically on level ground. A pole and a stick stands vertically on a level. The stick is long and cast a shadow of 20 centimeter. The stick is 25 centimeter long and cast a shadow of 20 centimeter. If the pole cast a shadow of 5 meters, what is the height of the pole? If the pole cast a shadow of 5 meters, what is the height of the pole? Always follow the guidelines of the health workers. Stay home and be safe. Thank you.